What's up, Know It Owls community? Today is a great day. We just had an advancement in the Clarity Act right before Bitcoin Pizza Day. And let's be honest, Drake's dropping his album at 9 p.m. So I'm going to get this call done so I can definitely listen to that. But I want to talk about the Clarity Act first. For those of you who's this may be your first time watching or hearing about this act, it is the bill that draws a line in the sand on what makes a token a commodity versus a security, so that they can know what gets regulated by the SEC and the CFTC. And they've been going back and forth on this bill for a while. But as of today, May 14th, the Clarity Act has advanced significantly, and it actually passed through the Senate Banking Committee with a 15-9 bipartisan vote, right? Now, it passed in the House back in 2025 of July last year. Well, 2025 last year, obviously is last year. But like I said, the banking committee passed it today, so it still has to go through the House, right? And it had support from all the Republicans and 2 Democrats, Ruben Gallego and Angela also Brooks. Man, that's a weird name. So now it has to go past. Well, it has to pass through the Senate, and obviously the president has to sign. We have a new Fed chair who's going to be at the next Fed meeting. So it's a lot of shifting happening. And that was one more thing I wanted to cover here. Man, Elizabeth Warren was in the Oval Room or whatever room they were in, and she still just it really just makes me feel good, because all that was recorded and everyone's gonna know she was on the wrong side of history, because she kept saying like, oh, only 1% of people use crypto, but she left out other numbers such as like 40% said they would vote for this, 3% said, I forget what the other point was, but a lot of people want this bill to get passed. And now what needs to be swayed from the people voting on this, or the politicians voting on this, is ethics. That's what they're mainly worried about now. So we still have some work to do, but it's definitely a step in the right direction. And the faster we went through the banking committee, the faster you get to go through the other what do you want to call it, hoops that it has to jump through. So yeah, I'm hoping we get this passed completely this year. Kris, what's your thoughts?
The poly market odds went up to 69% for it being passed this year, so that's good. A lot of people think it's going to happen. So we got to go through the gate of the Senate passing it, the gate of the House going, okay, we're cool with those amendments since we saw it last year. So there's a long time since they've looked at it. And then once both of those are done, it's back up to the president. So for some reason, some influencers are saying, oh, July 4th is going to be the day this happens. I'm like, why would they choose July 4th for the Clarity Act? It's not that American, right? Like, so like the ending of the war with Iran on July 4th, that could be significant. Like the Clarity Act, I doubt it. But in any event, it looks like they're making progress. Elizabeth Warren actually just put out a post on her little Twitter, and it was funny. She says, crypto is going to crush America. Like the whole economy is going to be moving into crypto now, even though
crypto's going to help America crush it.
Yeah, something like that. But anyway, she's now thinking. I couldn't tell from the tone of hers if she was scared of it happening or in full support of it happening. But I just couldn't tell from the tone of the tweet. So
I think she's paid of it not happening, is what I think. Man, do she be skewing the facts, man. You can have a fact in her face and she has a rebuttal like no one I've ever seen.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I know her house smells like mothballs, and everything is probably just super just put in place. She's an interesting woman.
She's gonna do, I think, I mean, a lot of politicians, but she's extremely more public than a lot of others because she's so outspoken. But there's a lot of politicians that just flip-flop based on who's paying. So
yeah, well, she's been on the same side for a while, and she understands crypto. That's the crazy thing. The fact that you understand crypto, but you can still be against it like that and talk about how, oh, money launderers, people are using money launderers. Actually, money launderers use cash because crypto is tracked in public and privacy isn't that good yet. And then she brought up like, oh, what's this whole point of like Tornado Cash of all the apps? She brings up a mixer, right? She didn't bring up anything else. So she understands it and she knows how to sway the narrative. She just highlights the bad things, but every technology has bad things. Like look at all the stuff that's happening over the internet with trafficking and, you know, child inappropriate material. Are you going to ban the internet? You know, so it's just like everything is going to have good and bad, but just given, I'm feeling American today, just giving the American people the power in their hands to be able to do something good with crypto, I think is really important for our country. And I feel like I really just sound like a politician right there, but I'm for it.
Man, she has put up, I'm looking at her feed right now. 1 hour ago, an insane level of corruption, even for Trump. A $1.7 billion slush fund for Trump's hand-picked stooges to hand money to January 6th insurrectionists and his political allies. Here's the president's priority as Americans sell their plasma to afford gas and groceries.
She
and
really
then,
stooges?
Yeah, she said that.
That's crazy.
And then 4 hours before that, $1 billion. That's how much Senate Republicans want taxpayers to shell out for Trump's ballroom. We have to put a stop to this gold-encrusted monstrosity. And then three hours before that, Republicans are using junk science to try to march us towards a full-on nationwide abortion ban. We won't stop fighting to protect reproductive freedom for women everywhere. She took on 3 huge cases with those posts today.
Wow. I love how, side note, every time you read something from someone else, you embody their spirit. And I just think that's great. And from now on, you need to be reading things from people.
It's more fun that way.
Yeah, because I can see her talking like that. She's so like snarky and her hair is just bouncing.
Was my beard bouncing? I don't know. So
no, but another important thing is that I think that with the pet once the Clarity Act, you know, continues to, you know, get down the road, we're going to have more and more crypto companies going public, and everyone's already talking about XRP going public. So now what we have to start thinking about is what's that going to look like for a crypto company to go public when they already have a token? You know, Coinbase was the first one to go public, but they didn't have a token yet, right? Even though they're planning on launching it, we don't know what that's going to look like. Then Circle went public. They had a token already, but it's a stable coin, so you don't really buy a stable coin for capital gains. So I know Fold is trying to go public as well. They're like a reloadable crypto card where you get Bitcoin back. They don't have a token. So XRP would be the first project that goes public with a token. And I feel like other projects are going to follow suit and kind of look at their roadmap and how they did it, just like the DAT companies followed what Michael Saylor was doing. So I think it's a good thing to kind of start putting some brain juice towards that and seeing what that's going to look like. Because I'm wondering if there's going to be some kind of incentives to where if you have XRP tokens, because it could either devalue it and make it more valuable. It's not going to be just neutral. You know what I mean? Because people buy things because they want ownership in the company. So how that ownership is represented in the stock versus token is going to be really important for the future. You know, you got any thoughts on that?
So, I mean, we're in crypto. We understand how it works and everything like that. But crypto liquidity can be yanked so much easier than stock liquidity.
Yeah.
I'm wondering personally in the future if public companies that focus on digital asset treasuries or the new digital credit narrative, if they're going to use crypto tokens more as advertising, as opposed to using them as anything real of value to their companies. Because a lot of the crypto tokens today exist as governance tokens. Well, why would you need a governance token if Ripple's going public? Because now they're owned by shareholders, and the shareholders decide what's going to happen. So why would you need a governance token? But they put it out there, and they're like, oh, support XRP. Show it in essential. Essentially they're gonna just use them more and more as meme tokens. Like, collect your favorite stickers from around the world. Like, here's your tokens. And that's not all projects, obviously, but I think that's how it's gonna go for maybe companies that are gonna go public.
Yeah, that makes sense. I also think that it could be a scenario to where, like, kind of like when a crypto token launches a new token that they want to be the dominant token, and they give people time to like be like, hey, you swap this token for an equal amount of this token. I wouldn't be surprised if you're able to swap your XRP tokens for stocks.
Well, tokenized stocks, definitely, it'd be easy.
Yeah, that'd be super easy. So I can see that happening. And honestly, that kind of verbiage actually probably needs to be put in the Clarity Act too, so that people aren't getting screwed over.
Mm-hmm.
You know? So yeah, I'm actually do a video on that and start researching that, and give the community my thoughts, because that's going to be really, really important. We've never had anything like that happen before.
No, I mean, we've never. Well, we do have with those 16 cryptos that they've already said are not securities. So that'll be interesting as well, because in the Clarity Act, it talks about the definition of a token being a security based on how decentralized it is and who owns at least a certain percentage of the total amount of liquidity for the token. So that's going to be interesting as well. Like, a company can't create a token and then own 50% of it and it not be considered a security.
Yeah, but I also, great point, and I'm actually glad you brought that up, because what that reminds me of what John Rockefeller did, kind of what Google did to kind of prevent becoming a monopoly. Like, they told them you can't basically have a monopoly on oil, and that's the reason. Like, most people don't know that most of these gas stations are still owned by the same company. They're just different companies. So I don't see it far-fetched for people to have, like, spin up different shell companies, put ownership there, and they still own them. And then people here in America can't prove that they own them because they're like offshore and things like that. They're always going to find a loophole. They have access to, the top lawyers in the world. So it's going to be interesting to see it shake out, I think.
There's a lot of unknowns because we've never been here before. So
yeah, it's different.
It's almost like the Industrial Revolution is happening all over again. So it's gonna take a while for all the bad ideas to be caught and the laws put in place to protect us. So
yeah, people who went west didn't always find gold. Sometimes they just got screwed over
or scalped.
Yeah. So
yep.
Let's look at the markets now.
You can start with hype. It's a big winner right now.
We'll get to that one. So the fear and greed is at 50, and it was just at, like, was it that, like, I checked yesterday or the day before, it was like at 30 something. It jumped up when the bill passed. And what were you gonna say?
I still think it's interesting that there's more than one website that has a crypto fear and greed index, and they report different numbers. So
yeah.
I don't. Which one do you use all the time?
This is CoinMarketCap.
Yeah, I mean, that one's good, but you have alternative.me, you have Crypto Market Cap, you have Binance has their own.
Accurate, would you say? It's hard to know.
I'm thinking more so like CoinGlasses.
Okay, let's look at CoinGlass and see what they say.
Because CoinGlass isn't owned by an exchange.
Very true. That's why we started using CoinGecko instead of CoinMarketCap for other things. So that's a great point. Let's see. Okay, you're right. So fear and greed is at 42 on CoinGlass. And, I think this is really good because, so first, I don't know if they have, I'm gonna have to go through this and look, but I'm not gonna do it because we're recording, but I'm gonna look at the ETF data, and I want to speak on something here. So if we look at get that off, Bitcoin ETF data or inflows have been down, an outflow of 630 million 239 million ETH in this, in hundreds of millions in outflows as well. Pretty much, we haven't had an inflow day since May 4th, 10 days ago. But the crazy thing is, if we go and look at the market, Bitcoin's at 80K. So two things come to mind. Actually, three things when I look at this chart. The first thing is that I love the fact that Bitcoin is pumping during fear, because that is usually a sign that it's still more room to go, because it's pumping and we haven't gotten to greed yet. Another thing is that a lot of notable people, you know, this blue line is our 200-day moving average. It's the average of the past 200 candles on this time frame. We're on the weekly, and a lot of people are calling this the local top. I think we're going to go back down to 50. There's a guy on Twitter named Dr. Profits who's made a lot of great calls, and he's calling this the local top. He's shorting Bitcoin right now because he thinks this is just gone. Because technically, we are still in a downtrend, right? We have a high here, we have a low here, we have a lower high, lower low, and this looks like it's coming to do one of these, right? So I can see why people say that as well, right? But at the same time, we are getting to a point where, or we just had a cross here, right? Our 62 just crossed our 200, and anytime we have our 62 on top or on the bottom, right? It was on the top, so actually it just crossed, which means that's not good.
That means down.
Yeah, that means down.
That means down, people.
So I wouldn't be surprised if we drop from here. Let's look at the monthly. Yeah, like if you look at the monthly chart, you know, this just looks like it. Honestly, this looks like it can go either way. It's resistance here on the 200-day, but this is support, and it's been support pretty much since 2023, right? So we had pump, dump, pump, dump, pump, big dump, and now we had this little pump. And yeah, I honestly wouldn't be surprised if things kept going down, but it's really hard to tell. Like if we go on the daily, it looks like the trend is starting to change, but anything can change in the day, right? So yeah, I don't know if I don't know. You know, if you look at the ETH chart, ETH's at the bottom of the channel, but ETH is going to follow Bitcoin, and ETH is just like, I don't give a damn about this Clarity Act. I'm staying at 2,200. I don't care what happens.
So Ben Cohen also agrees with Dr. Profit. So
yeah,
and I read Dr. Profit stuff all the time. So
yeah, same. So what's your thoughts, man? Are you in agreement with them, or are you just taking it day by day, farming, and got longs and shorts in, so you're hedged?
I am hedged. I am more bullish right now at the moment because of the Clarity Act movement, but I don't know if the Clarity Act is just going to keep it up for a little bit longer before it goes back down.
Yep.
In prior cycle crashes, it's gone down as far, like the most recent one was 77%. And if that happened from our most recent all-time high, that would put us at like a 32K Bitcoin. Now, I don't think we're going to go that far, but I do think we could easily go down to mid-50s before we start heading back up. And there's a lot of slow months coming with the summer, so it's entirely possible that you know, traders and retail go check out for the summer, and then they come back in and they don't actually start hitting hard for purchasing until like October, which lines up. So I'm taking it day by day as a farmer. That's all you can do. And I'm running some hedges on the back end in case I'm wrong. But you have to stay in range, and you have to stay in a solid range to make your income. So
yeah, no, that's a solid analysis. And also something worth noting is that even though this bill is like life-changing for this industry, it seems like every big thing that's happened in crypto has led to the market going down. Buy the rumor, sell the news. Coinbase IPO, top of the market. Bitcoin ETF, top of the market. Genius Act, nothing happened. Ethereum successful merge to ETH 2.0, nothing happening. Nothing happened. So it's like like we said in the beginning, the Clarity Act is just got passed by the banking committee. It still has a ways to go. So I can very easily see this people like dumping after this. So guys, if you're watching this, use risk management. Always keep some cash on the sideline. Don't be someone else's exit liquidity. So yeah, interesting times. Other than that, man, what's been some of your favorite firms?
Hype.
Oh yeah, you wanted to talk about hype. You said it's pumped a lot.
It's up double digits today.
Nice. Let me check it out. Let me check it out. Hyper liquid. Yeah, we were talking to Coinfall, and I told them like, hey, you guys need to integrate with Hyperliquid too. They asked for the top 10, and I included that on there. Let's see here. I don't know why it's taking forever.
Today's volume 154 million for hype.
Dang, man, it had a good couple of days.
The last 24 hours, as of this very second, 18.26% gain.
That's not bad.
Last night, I was looking at, man, maybe I should rearrange the farms a little bit because 3 out of my 4 hype farms were like $1 out of range to the low side. I was like, man, that's a lot of work to rearrange all these farms. I'm just gonna wait like 4 hours and see what happens. Well, within that 4 hours, prices started going back up again, and I was in range. I was like, whew, I'm done. Now I have the other problem. I hope these prices come back down just $1, so that I'm back in range.
Well, I'm not riding this convertible. Keep the top on for a bit here.
Yeah, but the chart has been up and to the right since January 21st of 2026. There's been a couple of little drawdowns, but it almost perfectly bounced on the trend line. The drawdown that just happened yesterday and the day before actually broke trend to the downside, and then today they had their massive run. And I think what had happened today was they did away with Hype's native stablecoin, and they formed a partnership with Circle. So now the official stablecoin on the Hype network is USDC.
Dude,
and
that's actually a monumental shift on what could be to come possibly for all these projects with their own stable coins.
Yeah, and they, in order to do that, they agreed to revenue sharing between the two companies.
Just on the conversions, like what are they going to tag all the ones that went from Hype to USDC, or just on everything that Circle makes?
So I don't know the exact details. That's something that I just saw that flash right before this call, so I wanted to dig deeper into it. So I know there is revenue sharing. I don't know, because every stablecoin makes money, even though to you and I as a user, it's still tagged to $1, pegged to $1. But in the back end, that peg to $1 is maintained by treasuries, which are funded by American debt. Which their massive treasuries are, whatever the T-bills or the bond prices or whatever they have locked up, generally 3 to 6% per year, just with our cash. So we go buy a stable coin that gives USDC or whatever, gives some value to the stable coin company, and they go buy more American debt, and the American debt pays out at the 2 to 3%, per year, up to 6%.
And they get transaction fees.
Exactly. So if we were to follow that business model, it would take us a very long time to get up to that level to run a stable coin, but it's a super simple business model in crypto. That's why everybody is doing that. And Apex Finance and I think Strata just upped their game, because instead of using American debt, which is lower return but lower risk as well, they're doing it with preferred stock of the Stretch dividend fund from Strategy.
Wow.
So Stretch dividend fund is paying 11.5% annually in dividends, which is crazy high. And they're not waiting till the end of the year to pay. They're paying that monthly. They just Apex just crossed $40 million worth of this stablecoin in under 3 weeks.
Damn.
And it's composable on Pendle. So I even took advantage of this. I went and bought a principal token of Apex USD, which is a stable coin. Just holding it gives me 16% APR, because when Pendle created the token, they priced in the dividends into it as if it was already in the token when you bought it. So their rate is, instead of them paying you 11.5, they're paying you 16.5. So I took that, and then I went and loaned it out on Morpho, borrowed USDC at a 50% ratio. The net borrow cost was 4.85%. I took that 50% of USDC. I went and bought more Apex USD, and that again, earning 16.5%. So now I'm making 11% gain. No, 12%. Yeah, 12% gain. And then I'm taking that, putting it back in my position, borrowing again, and I'm looping it multiple times. I'm now sitting on a stable coin to stable coin, well, a stable coin to a stretch backed dividend coin loop, and it's literally paying 85%. No yield farming, just looping.
How about you take that to the bank, Elizabeth Warren, and suck on it?
That, and that is 100% Clarity Act compliant already.
I wish I could just debate her.
Sadly, Vince, I think she would tear you up. So
I was actually thinking that.
she's a shark. Yeah.
But at the same time, though, when you go to talk about, like, if I just go talk about the DeFi protocols and how, like, people in America can use them if they know how to, and it's not about drugs and all this stuff she talks about, I don't know. I think it'd be pretty good. I think I could hold my own, actually. I don't know, like, laws and stuff like that, but, like, in terms of, like, she's not going to be able to pull that whole, oh, this is only for bad people and it doesn't have any utility and, it's going to hurt the country. That wouldn't fly.
I would love to see what her, if there was a vote taken on creating a strategic crypto reserve, and what she voted.
Man, what would be a great video? If we did a video where one of us is like Elizabeth Warren and one of us is ourselves or something. I don't know who would be who, and we like debate. Oh, AI video of that would be good too.
Well, yeah. So you can actually have them create the artificial people standing there having the debate.
Charisma, we need to make that podcast. That'll probably go viral.
Absolutely, it would.
Charisma, I don't know if you're listening, but we got to do that. Okay. You heard what I was saying? Yeah, that's a good idea.
If nothing else, it'll be purely entertaining.
Yeah, and like, I'll send that to our damn senator.
All you got to do is go out to their X feeds and post it as a reply.
Yeah, that's actually a good idea. We're doing it. What they say on Rick and Morty? Son of a bitch, I'm in.
And then don't forget intro and outtakes. Stand with Crypto Song.
Yep. That'll be coming out next week in time for Bitcoin Pizza Day.
Mm-hmm.
Are you going to ETH NYC?
I'd love to, but no.
Tech Week? I'm guessing not.
My travel is grounded except for vacations through the end of this year. Hopefully next year I have a completely different story.
Fair enough. Tipper takes off. We can go fishing anywhere we want.
That's right. I am a master at the trade show no show idea.
Trade show, no show. I like that.
So you register for it, get everything signed up. Most of them have free registration because they expect you to spend money. But you don't show up. But yet you still get a list of all the vendors, all the activities, all the speeches going on. And then later on, they have a listing of you can go here now and download the information. And you don't have to go.
As long as you get the info, that's the
That's
most
right.
important thing.
Well, the most important thing is making the connections, right? So like I miss out on that whole thing, but I get all the info and I know who to reach out to and say, hey, I didn't get a chance to see you at the conference, but
I
I
think you
really
could,
liked what
but
I
I
really
didn't.
liked what you said. So, and thanks to all the digital recording and the way the world shifted after COVID, it makes it even easier because they're fully recorded with video, sound, notes, downloadable slides, and then you can go try to spark up a conversation. Say, hey, where'd you get that blue tie on that day? You looked great that day when you were giving that speech. And by the way, I have a question. So
It'd be funny if it backfired. He's like, you know what? I went through all the recordings, man, and I didn't see you at all. Yeah,
you're like,
but
I was wearing my luchador mask. You didn't see me.
I was just telling you, you're dressed as a unicorn. It's always a unicorn at an event somewhere.
Speaking of unicorn, meme coin UFD had a great day today.
UFD, have we talked about that one?
That was created by a guy that liked unicorns.
UFD. Four months ago?
1 year and 4 months ago.
Yeah, okay. My bad. Totally missed that one. You bought in on this?
I had a little spare dust in my wallet.
Unicorn fart dust is what it's called.
I know, it's hilarious.
Wow. Welcome to crypto, guys. I hope the
And
culture never changes. Like when we go all corporate and it's still like fart shit coins and stuff.
Uranus, Buckcoin.
Let's check how lean is doing. LFI
I didn't look at that one today.
is
Oh,
down.
here's another one. Fanny token.
I'm gonna check that one out. Lean Fi is down. Yes.
Oh yeah, big time.
Okay, I don't feel so bad now. Fanny token. Hope they crash and burn.
PHANNY.
PHANNY.
Just to be clear, other than LFI, most of the ones we're naming right now are meme tokens, and you should not go buy them.
Yeah, I wouldn't recommend buying Lean Fi either.
Not until they actually go live with something.
Yeah, and we will let you guys know. Fanny, it's not looking too bad. Yeah, the trench has been heating up. There has to be a Clarity token coin. Wow. Post nut Clarity is the first thing that pops up 9 hours ago. Clarity Act token, market cap 50K, down 84%. Another Clarity Act one down 76%. Yeah, it's kind of hard to like with pump fund. It's man, when was the last really good meme coin that really took off and kind of stayed other than like Chill Guy? Was that the most recent one?
Let me look it up real quick. I got a report for that. All right. So you see volume, liquidity. So the last one of liquidity over 1 million that was most recently launched was actually a meme coin called NEET.
I mean,
NEET.
a well-known one.
Okay, butt coin.
Hmm.
It has liquidity of 1.1 million. Wojak. 6-7. You know, that one's there, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
White whale was big for a while. But Fartcoin is one of the most recent ones, and it's huge. Fartcoin's been there for 11 months. Liquidity 11.4 million, and right now it's hanging out around 21 cents, 22 cents.
Interesting.
But yeah, so Fartcoin is pretty much the biggest one of the last 12 months.
Okay.
The biggest one right now at the moment, that one's not it. 15 million is a token that we've never even talked about. It's called Slurf.
What does that word even mean?
SLERF. It looks like a sloth. Let me see. Yeah, Slurf. He is the new sloth on the block.
It's been around for
2
6
years.
months. Oh,
Two
that
ye-
one.
2 years, 1 month.
Wow. Crypto is a crazy place, man.
Bonk is sitting at 2.3. So
You hear Zora launched an agent where you can basically search for shit on the platform.
they
Like,
needed it. Like you couldn't find it without it.
you think so?
I could never find anything. I tried. I even tried finding your stuff, and I searched for like 15 minutes before I found your stuff. It was a waste of time trying to use that platform to find anything.
Yeah, Zora. Ever since we announced in the community that we sold all of ours, but ever since they like moved from base to Solana and back to base, and they went dark on Twitter, and like, I'm just like, man, I don't believe in them anymore.
Would you believe that Fartcoin is bigger than Pingu?
No, wow.
Yeah.
For now.
Pingu is sitting at 9.3 million liquidity, and Fartcoin's at 11.4.
Oh wow. Yeah, Pingu. I haven't looked into the abstract chain in a while. I know they're building over there,
That's
but
true.
I wonder what's the deal with that is. Luca Nets is a very competent individual, so I think they'll do well in the future.
Yeah, I think they're just building right now while everything's down.
Building in the bear, like our song.
Building in the bear.
Building in the penguin.
That would be the definition of winter, sir. Building in the winter.
Yep.
Honky.
I guess
Moo.
another, I never thought about this. They call a bear market because the bears swipe down, but also the bears hibernate when it's cold too and don't do anything. So that also makes sense.
I
And if you think
wonder if
bulls are all about speculation. Like they have those things where they hold the red cape and they just like go at it, and then boom, you pull the rug.
Yeah.
So
Pepe is still the king, though. 3 years old, 30.6 million liquidity.
what about Doge and Shiba?
Let me see. Shiba's not on this view that I'm looking at. SPX 6900 sitting at 11.6. Asteroid Shiba sitting at 9.6.
I haven't seen Murad tweet about anything in a while.
They still have people making in-person posts. So, where are we? The base memes aren't doing anything hardly at all. Brett's the biggest, but Toshi's number 2. No, Toshi's number 3. AI XBT by Virtuals, they're considering a meme coin, and that's number 2. Even though AI XBT is an actual live agent running some stuff.
Yeah, they got people getting SPX tattoos.
I know I'm like, I wouldn't do that, but
I'll
whatever.
definitely-
Of course, if you got people that have tattoos of everything, like it doesn't really mean anything to them.
It's true.
I want to say gainers and losers, meme Hall of Fame. So the number one moving meme coin today is Buttcoin, followed by 6-7, followed by GOAT. Don't ever look up what GOAT stands for. Yuck. Let me see. UFD, Penguin, Asteroid, Troll.
Not greatest of all time.
What's that?
I'm assuming it's not greatest of all time.
No. Mm-mm.
Well, now I got it, but I
No.
want to say
Don't. In case it accidentally pops up in this call, do not look it up.
Oh, I'm not gonna look it up on the computer. GOAT crypto.
Which one did you say? Shiba? You wanted to know where Shiba was?
It doesn't say. I'll look into that later.
Yeah, and then you'll have to scrub your mind.
Oh God.
It's funny, like, so going by this, like tomorrow we could see some of the older memes like just take off that haven't hit their stride yet. Like white whale could easily, everybody could go, oh, we're gonna go hit white whale now. It hasn't been a while, and then everybody buys into there and shoots it way up, and then the next day, oh, let's go hit Mooding again. So yeah, Bonk is number 38. Floki is 26. Mew is 24. The book of memes. I must have bought the wrong one because my book of memes that I own is not doing this good. But it had 12 million of liquidity sitting in book of memes. There was no way that I bought the right one.
Interesting.
It's so hard, like when meme coins first launched, to like jump in there and get in the right one because they always are like clustered, and half of them are just complete trash.
Yeah, 9.9% of them.
So that's my number one was Hype. Number two actually is Tibber, up 11%. Number three is Venice. It's at 14.32. I think I'm gonna go chunk a couple $100 at Venice tonight, and hopefully that rides it back up to $17. Zcash is climbing up again. XRP today got up over $1.53, and right now it's at $1.48. Tau was able to withstand the drawdown to 300 and bounce back up, so that's good. Let me see. Yeah, Ondo's still under 40 cents. I really wanted to get back down to 30, but I don't know if it will.
I'm sure it will.
Link bounced at the $10 level and is headed back up again. Oh, another thing I saw, speaking of Link, just technology-wise, Kraken completely pulled everything off of layerzero, and they moved it all over to Circle's technology. That's $3 billion out of layerzero now.
They pulled it off of layerzero.
Yeah, so that if people are trying to bridge, their assets won't go through layerzero.
I wonder why they did that.
Because of everything just happened with Aave. But it wasn't even really layerzero's fault that it happened. It was actually KelpDAO's fault with the way they configured it.
I'm sure Kraken knows that though.
But Kraken's like, you know what? We're gonna move this anyway over to Circle.
Hyperliquid join in Circle.
Yep.
Kraken join in Circle.
There's a big theme right here.
Jesus Christ. I guess you can fit a square peg inside of a circle. As long as it's circle. And with that, I think this will be a good one to put a bow on. But man, crazy times right now, guys.
Yeah, Bitcoin is trying to get past 81,000. It's at 80,989 right now.
Hopefully it keeps on climbing, but hopefully it can blow through that 200. That'll give me more confidence that we're going to keep going. If it can turn that into resistance, we just had a cross, so we'll see.
Yeah, everything else is pretty much flat. Like I expected, like, at the next major news of the Clarity Act, that of any progress whatsoever, we would have bounced like 5%. But Bitcoin didn't even get up like 3.5%. So
yeah, the market's so desensitized. Like,
yeah, but you can there's actually a chart out there. I don't have it, so I can't pull it up right now at this second, but it showed every major announcement dealing with the Clarity Act and what happened with the market. And the market was extremely responsive to the events. Like when they said Clarity Act is coming, the market went up. And then it said Brian Armstrong poo-poos the Clarity Act because of language. Market went down like 30%. And then it says Clarity Act's back again. Brian Armstrong's on board, and the market went back up. Like there is a chart like that floating around crypto Twitter. So, and like it's legit. So
that's crazy. Well, guys, stay tuned because we are going up and to the right eventually.
I think there's going to be pullback first. So
yeah,
DCAN, I guess, is the most important thing from this whole call.
Yeah, and have a plan to get out too.
Right. And that does not involve living in the basement with your mom's house.
Exactly. But it could, depending on your situation. All right, guys, we'll catch y'all on the next one.
Goodbye.